Has it really been 7 years since the base release of Shikhondo's Soul Eater? There are a few shmups that I find myself constantly returning to, and Shikhondo is one of them. The game's presentation and soundtrack provide a serene sense of calm as yokai creatures and bullets fill the screen. Thankfully, developer Deer Farm has returned with a special updated expansion titled Shikhondo Youkai Rampage. While not a traditional sequel, this acts as an expansion on the original game that provides more than enough reasons to test your shmup skills once again. Although it may not be thrown in front of you while playing, Shikhondo Youkai Rampage does follow a narrative. Players assume the role of a girl with amnesia, which leads her to a dangerous yokai-infested hell where she may or may not find her memories again. Then there's Grim Reaper, Death's assistant, who is tasked with gathering the souls of yokai and laying them to rest. I know what you're thinking. Say less. But let me tell you, they each have their own dedicated arcade mode campaigns that do offer some touches of story elements, although brief. Anyway, we aren't here for the story, I know that. Shikhondo Youkai Rampage features 6 stages of some of the most intense shmup action that I've played to date. There is some new content here, and a few patterns have been reworked, so if you're a returning player, this will at least feel a little new. Still, from my first time entering the stage, I was blown away by how responsive and tight the controls were. Playing on normal difficulty, I found myself getting through the first 3 stages untouched, but I doubt that had much to do with my skill. I just seemed to quickly understand the hitbox movements and patterns of the enemies, and that's just due to game design. It's clear this shmup is made for fans of the genre. Everything about the arcade experience oozes delight, and with the higher or lower difficulty options available from the beginning, there's a lot to experience in this package. When starting the arcade mode, you can choose to play as either the girl or Grim Reaper. The girl has a nice shot pattern with some slight homing capabilities, along with 2 orbs that can zoom in and shoot enemies. The Grim Reaper, on the other hand, has a spread shot that can turn into a focus shot when she's moving slowly. While taking down enemies, you'll collect souls, which allows you to utilize a soul collect. Alternatively, your soul gauge fills up as you avoid getting hit, so there's incentive to not take damage for more power. Further, there's a dodge technique to avoid damage or clear the screen of enemy attacks. One of the new modes added is Dual Mode, where you can play as both characters. While firing normally, you'll play as the selected character, and when you use your secondary weapon, you'll switch to the other character. I'd say this is cool because you can mix and match your loadout. It's a fun way to approach stages differently, and best of both worlds in terms of characters. There's also a customize option where you can select options and completely customize your run. Then there's also a boss rush mode, which is exactly what you think it is, but this mode can also be customized within these new options. As a shmup experience, Shikhondo Youkai Rampage stands out with the best, but I feel like there's some elements missing. Strangely, there was no music on the main menu or during tutorials, and the newly added voice audio peaks a bit with the standard settings.
주먹 말고 나도 내 목 요괴봉이네 흥미 있어?
On that note, the added voices are a nice touch, but when it comes to the actual soundtrack, I do wish there was more songs on the playlist. Shikhondo Youkai Rampage is a nicely packaged expansion that only enhances the Shikhondo IP. The dual mode and reworked stages made this game a blast to return to. I felt like some elements were a little off, such as the limited soundtrack and missing audio. Regardless, if you're looking for a shmup that you can return to over and over again, look no further, and happy yokai hunting. NoiseyPixel is giving Shikhondo Youkai Rampage an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. NoiseyPixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
NoiseyPixel.